So I'm here at Internet of Things World 2017 with Leon van der Pas, Senior Vice President of the IoT Business Group at HERE. So Leon, please tell us a bit more about your organisation and what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I would love to. So HERE is a company that is for 30 years now in the map making. And while making that map after, let's say, almost 30 years, we now cover the world, meaning over 200 countries. So it is time to reinvent itself. And that's why we're so excited, because since last year we have new investors on board, we have a new CEO on board, and we really reinvented the company in such a way that we're now going from map data and platform services into a reality index creation. And that means a digital representation of the real world. And that's really an exciting moment we're in now in our history. Besides, of course, our dominant automotive play historically, we are really now investing heavily in our IoT play. So you will see that initially we were really a horizontal player, providing map data, traffic data, APIs and SDKs to the market. And now you will see that step by step we are launching more and more vertical integrated solutions. Here at the Internet of Things World, we show, for instance, an end-to-end tracking solution. So we are one of the few companies that can provide you a global tracking solutions for online, offline, indoor and outdoor tracking solutions.
And you just spoke on the main stage delivering a keynote presentation. What points did you cover and what recommendations did you make to your audience?
Yeah, so in the presentation I showed what happens if you combine all those data sources. At this moment everything might be connected, data might be all stored as big data, and we see now the combination of all those data sources into an open location platform, where you have in the world several what we call closed ecosystems. There are some closing ecosystems, but we really want to be that open location platform. In fact, the Switzerland of data in the Internet of Things world. And if you combine all those data sources, for instance, the sensor data we get now from our OEM partners, you combine that with our map data, you combine it with other sources, a wealth of new opportunities is opening.
So when will companies en masse be indexing real-time data, and what will the outcome be?
Yeah, so what you've seen is that big companies indexed the internet. We have big companies indexed, let's say, the personal profiles. We really want to index what we call the real world, meaning that all the connected devices, they produce data. If you give that data a geo reference, it becomes really relevant data in that open world. So particularly if you think about drones, for a drone it's not enough just to have a map, a static map. It's not enough to have a 3D representation. You really need, if you want to do a mission with a drone, you need to have that intelligent information, location intelligence of that particular point in time at that moment for that drone. And therefore we have to bring all those data sources together to provide that service at that particular moment.
And how mature are your customers right now with the Internet of Things? Do they come to you with very specific problems, or are you still really educating them as to what they can do?
You can imagine if you have over 400 accounts, we have very advanced accounts like the Facebooks and the Microsofts of this world. You'll also have a lot of accounts that are just stepping into this world. Yeah, not so long time ago there were no connected cars, and now we have, of course, a lot of connected cars hitting the road. Initially it was only for some maintenance of some emergency services. Now you see that with all the LiDAR, the sensors, the cameras in the car, there's a wealth of information coming from that car. So much, by the way, that it is not even able, nobody will be able to process it in real time, because a 4K camera will produce gigabytes of data, which you don't want to send real time to a platform. So you see now a new movement happening, is that data is collected in that particular car, but you have to have some edge computing to figure out which data should remain in that car, which data should be transferred to the cloud. And that's why we're excited about the new partnerships we just signed and we announced that around CES. It's with NVIDIA, with Mobileye, and now with Intel, and with our OEM customers and account. It is really an amazing combination. We are in fact redrawing the way that kind of data is processed, but also redistributed.
And also, in your experience, which industry verticals have you found are most advanced when it comes to the Internet of Things?
Yeah, Internet of Things was telematics in many years ago. Now we call it Internet of Things. Of course, you see in the industry 4.0 where the automation within the assembly lines, etc. There's a lot of data analytics being held today. Of course, traditionally in the consumer space, in the advertisement world, that's where the data analytics are happening in the app. And in the cloud to provide advertisement services. But now you see that with all the connected devices, also in the healthcare and in other applications, more and more the Internet of Things is not only providing data for a specific use case, but data is shared and or reused for other purposes.
And what's your favorite real-world application of the use of data analytics and AI?
It is amazing at this moment what you see what happens with the drones is that the drones in the agriculture where they're using really the real-time data for optimizing the growth of food around the world. So it's amazing how you can now with satellite imagery, with local drones and the combination of all the data, we can really better and better predict food production in the world. And so we are bringing, we're making a better world as such. On the other hand, a favorite one, it's more serious than it sounds, is we are saving roughly 1,000 reindeers a year in the north of Lapland because of our warning system, hazard warning systems. And so as soon as there are animals on the road, we are broadcasting it back to the road users. Yeah, so even Santa Claus is happy with that solution every year.
Excellent. Thank you,
Good.
Leon.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.